How's that working for us, Kobe? Yeah? All right. Here we are. And it is the end of Monday. And I just spent like from Thursday to Sunday doing this amazing seminar with Tony Robbins. And I sat in my chair and I jumped up. That's not true. Like there was periods of movement, there was periods of jumping and crazy stuff that like my shins and calves, like I thought I was never gonna like get past it. Thought I was gonna be so sore. But the one thing I didn't get in was much yoga. And then today's moon day. And so my regular practice, I don't normally practice. But then of course jumped right back into work. And so I'm trying out this new webcam and I don't know how it's gonna work out. But it looks like Kobe is ready for us to do just like a quick, easy end of the day, wind down, gentle flow. I'm not going to do a whole lot because it's the end of the day and I don't want to get myself like totally amped up because I haven't really gotten that much sleep and I'm trying to kind of catch up. So if you're with me, let's start while this little critter is a little bit mellow. Let's just start with some breath. So find a comfortable seat, settle in. You don't need to pull in your belly. Notice I don't have my belly pulled in. This is what it is. And even let your belly expand. Breathe into your belly. In and out. And in, letting the belly expand. And out. And one more time, in. And out. Now we'll go ahead and add our arms. So inhale, sweep your arms out to the side, up overhead. Bring them to touch, and then pull them down in front of you like you were pulling down some tension. Really super, super light resistance band right in front of your heart. And then inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. They touch, look up at the thumbs. Press your hands together gently with some resistance. Pull it down in front of your heart. One more time, inhale. Hands touch, exhale, pushing your hands gently together, pulling down as if you're coming through honey, landing in front of your heart. And we'll let our hands rest here in front of our heart in Anjali Mudra. And we'll start this practice with one Om. So exhale fully and inhale. And just check in. You can go ahead and let your hands drop to your lap or wherever is comfortable. And check in and notice. Notice what you're feeling. And check in and notice, rather than noticing what isn't right, notice what is right. Is there something that you can notice about how your body feels, an emotion, like maybe there's some enthusiasm about something, or some peace, or some pride, something good. Just notice something good. Maybe notice an area of your body that feels particularly strong or comfortable. And focus on that. Focus on what's right. we're getting ready to go to bed. And, it's just kind of a nice practice, to notice the blessings, to notice what we have to be proud of. Maybe some accomplishment that we've made through the day. It can be simple. It could be, you drank enough water, anything. And let's go ahead and sweep our arms out overhead. Reach them up and leave them spread apart. And imagine you have a big golden sun up overhead. And that energy, or that sun, has energy that you've let out over the day to all the tasks, to all the people that you've helped out. Call all your energy back to that golden sun, and let's go ahead and bring that energy back into our space, back to where it belongs. Let your arms settle at your side. And just feel how it feels to have all your energy back in your space. Let's go ahead and come to our hands and our knees. When we come to our hands and our knees, maybe getting our back level, like a tabletop. But do what feels right. So if it feels right to tuck your toes under, tuck your toes under. If it feels better to have your legs, your toes extended, go ahead and do that. I'm going to tuck my toes under. And we're going to just do a couple little cat-cows. So for the cow, you're going to let your udders or your belly drop down, your chest drop down, your sit bones come up towards the sky. A little anterior tilt with the pelvis as if you're pouring the water out onto the mat. And your head looks up. And let's just hold here, inhaling and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And now come into cat. So we're going to push our hands, the palms of our hands into the mat, rounding our spine, tucking our tailbone under, feeling all the vertebrae round. Head comes down last, and maybe a lift towards your belly button. And let's take a couple breaths here. Inhaling, exhaling, inhale, and exhale. And now we'll do it dropping down on the inhale, looking up, and exhale, immediately round. Inhale, look up, tailbone lifts. And exhale. A couple more times on your own breath. Just letting the spine move. And then land in a neutral spine. I'm going to go ahead and push into our hands. You can tuck your toes under now and lift your knees up off the mat. Come back, bringing your torso down, so my belly is on top of my thighs. I'm going to hold here, find that length in my spine. Couple breaths, and then come up straight legs up onto our tippy toes for a couple breaths. And then go ahead and let your heels drop down to the mat. Into our down dog. Maybe you walk your dog, alternating, bending one knee and then the other. Speaking of dogs, my puppy is going nuts. And then settling. Inhale, find the length in your spine. Exhale, rooting down into the ground. into the earth, thankful that the earth has us. And now we'll go ahead and bend our knees, look forward beyond our hands, and maybe just step our feet up towards our hands. Come up on your fingertips, or if that's a little too intense, you can put your hands on your shins. And look forward, finding that length in your spine. And then exhale, fold forward, bending your knees as much as you need to. And hang out here. Kobe, chill out. All right, so I'm going to turn a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to cradle my elbows in my hands. And bending my knees just a little bit more so that, and make sure that my torso is in contact with my thighs. I'm just going to rock gently side to side, ever so slightly. And if this doesn't feel comfortable, if this feels a little too intense, you can put your hands maybe out to hold you attention. And maybe just sway. Just do whatever feels good. Rotate around. See? And now we'll go ahead and bend our knees, pushing into the mat. Coming on up, straightening the legs. Reach your arms up overhead. They touch. Bring your hands down in front of your heart. Pause in front of the heart. And then release arms down. And go ahead and inhale up. Reach your arms wide. They touch overhead. Looking at your thumbs. Pushing the hands, the palms together. Bring it down in front of our heart. Pause. Give thanks. And then release. One more time. Inhale. Squeeze the arms up overhead. Pushing them together. Pausing. Just a moment to just be here. Let's go ahead and sweep our arms up overhead. And then we're going to go exhale. We're going to go ahead and drop our hands down towards the mat. Fold forward. Hang here. Inhale, halfway lift to a flat back. And then exhale, let's step our feet back. Coming into a high plank. I said this would be gentle, so go ahead and drop your knees down to the mat. Drop your belly down to the mat and your chin. And untuck those toes, and we'll walk our hands forward, resting our elbows and our palms on the mat. Hopefully you can see me. I can't see my computer anymore. And we pull the mat gently, pushing as well, lifting our chest up off the mat. And just breathe here. Inhale and exhale. And notice if there's a crunchiness, a tightness anywhere. See if you can find that length. So maybe you go down just a little bit, dropping your lower ribs back down to the mat if it feels like there's too much crunching or pinching in your spine. You don't want that. Go. Hey. Just find that length, breathing easy. And maybe testing it out again, lifting up a little bit more. Maybe lifting up. Maybe pulling your shoulders away from your ears, pushing your pubic bone into the mat. And now go ahead and come down a little bit so that your ribs are back down on the mat. I want you to push the tops of your feet into the mat so that your knees come up off the mat. And we'll just hang out here. Breathing. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Drop those knees down. Drop your chest down. Bring your hands back. Right next, just next to your ribs. And push up onto your knees. So you can do whatever's comfortable for a child's pose. I'm going to bring my knees together and fold down and rest my torso on my knees. But if that doesn't feel right, you can bring your knees wide. You can drop down in between. It's totally up to you. So we're just going to rest in child's pose. Breathing nice and easy. Exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. And on the next inhale, come up on your fingertips. Okay? And then walk your hands over to the right side. Maybe stay up high for just an inhale and an exhale. And inhale. And then exhale, we'll go ahead and drop down, resting your forehead on the mat. Breathe here for about 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Come back up on your fingertips, inhaling. Exhale, come back to center. Pause here. And inhale, and step out to the other side. And breathe here. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And now inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and drop the head down to the mat. Resting down. And release your arms. 3 breaths. Inhale. 1. 2. 3. And come back up on your fingertips. Inhaling. Exhale back to center. Let's go ahead and come back up on our hands and knees. And now if your legs were wide, I want you to go ahead and bring them a little more parallel with each other. You can probably fit like your fist in between your knees. That should be enough. You can tuck your toes. Send your sit bones up towards the sky. And come onto your forearms. I'm just going to lean here, dropping your chest down towards the mat. This is puppy pose. It's a version of puppy pose. You can get a little bit more intense now. If this is too intense, you can put like a pillow, a bolster, a block, something underneath your chest to keep you from dropping down too much. If this isn't enough, you've probably practiced plenty of yoga before and you know where to go. You know that you can drop that chest down and walk your arms out a little bit more for more intensity. I'm going to hang out here. This is enough for me right now. It's evening and I'm getting ready to wind down and go to bed. And we'll go ahead and come back up onto all fours. Let's come back into down dog. And just notice what feels different. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's shift our weight over onto our left foot. Bring our right leg up towards the back wall. Hips are parallel, or as much level as they can be. And if you're set up like I am, where the wall is right there, where you can put your foot on the wall, go ahead and push into the wall. Explore that. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Let's go ahead and set that down. Let's do the other side. Inhale, that foot comes up. Interesting. I can't quite reach the wall as well as I could on the other side. So I walk my hands back so I could get there. And I'm trying to see if I need to level out my hips a little bit here. And we'll drop it down. Now step your right foot up next to the right hand. Go ahead and pivot with that left heel down. We're going to come up light on our fingertips, bending that right knee, coming up into a warrior one. So lean back to this back leg. Weights equal on our front and back leg. Bring your arms up towards the sky and look up. Just breathe here. That's 3 breaths, 4 breaths, and 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat. Step your left foot up to the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring them down. Let's go ahead and just bring our left leg back. Pivot that heel. You can adjust because sometimes it's a little hard to get it just right. And just come straight into warrior on the left side. So you're rooting into that back leg, making sure that you're not coming up off the mat. Strong weight on both legs. Looking up, finding that length in the spine. Let's do 3 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale, hands down to the mat. This time, let's bring this left leg back to the back of our mat. And settle back into down dog. And exhale, come up on your toes, raising your heels way up. Maybe round your spine a little bit, pulling your little belly in ever so slightly to hug that vertebrae. And then drop your knees down, right back where we were before. Okay, we're gonna hover here. A few more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Drop those knees down to the mat. Slide your hands back. Come on up onto your knees. I'm going to just come up a little bit more. Okay. So you can give options. You can have your heels up a little bit higher. We're going to do some Ustrasana, Camel Pose variation. Just to kind of undo all that sitting in the chair. Maybe you've been sitting, maybe you've been walking or jumping or just working the front body, the hip flexors. We're going to try and see if we can undo a little bit of that. So we're pushing our knees into the mat, bringing our hips forward a little bit. Okay, let's just drop it down and bring it back up. We're leading up with your sternum. Spread across your collarbones. Bring your hands to your hips and bring your elbows back. Just breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhale. Drop your hands to your side. And now bring them up. Let's see if I can show you. Okay. Hands to your side, bring them up, and curl your fingers in, okay, so they're like that. thumbs are pointing forward. I want you to do like 10 circles forward and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And drop your hands down. And just notice you probably felt a little bit of movement of the scapula, your shoulder blades. Just feel that. Let's go ahead and sit down on our heels. Push in, send the hips forward. Push down on the heels. And push forward. Okay, so same thing. Go ahead and crunch in those fingers. Bring your hands up. Flip your hands this way. Okay, so now my elbows, or my shoulders are not up in my ears. They're down. And they're kind of together, okay? So we're going to go the opposite way. So our thumbs lead up and around 10 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Drop it down. Pause and feel. Okay, again, just drop those sit bones down onto your heels, pushing into the mat with your knees. Find the fronts of your anterior, superior iliac crest. And push that part of your pelvis forward, finding that length, sternum reaching, collarbone spreading. And now your shoulder blades should have a lot of movement now, a lot more movement than they had before. So go ahead and just take one hand. I'm taking my left hand down to my heel. I'll push into the heel, leaning this forward, feeling the shoulder blade. And just bring my arm up towards the ceiling. And maybe it's a little bit back, but this is pretty mild. Breathe here. And if this feels pretty good, you can intensify it, drop the head back, bring the arm back. A couple more breaths here. The arm leads the way, you come on up. Pause and feel. A couple of breaths. Now bring your right hand back to that heel. Find that heel. Find that right side of your body. Reach this left arm up. Reaching, finding the length in that left side body. Maybe sweep back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Arm leads the way, brings me up. And now we're going to do both. So if was too intense, you can also put a bolster or something behind, like on top of your heels to give you a little more height. So you're finding a little more length on the spine and less intense. You don't want the crunching in your back. Of course, I'm not there to see what you're doing, so I trust you to take care of your body. So you can explore whether you can send those hips forward a little bit, reach back for your heels. Maybe you stay forward, and I'm looking forward to start. Sending that sternum skyward, up towards my head, and then as I'm able to drop my head back. Maybe I lean into my heels. I'll breathe here. And push up. Go ahead and untuck your toes. Sit back on your heels. And again, pause and feel. And we'll do it one more time if you want. You can join me. For those of you that want to try leaving your feet flat on the mat, so untucking your toes. It's a little bit more of a back bend. So inhale, find the length in your spine. Exhale, coming back. Finding those heels. Maybe leaning forward a little bit more. And our baby toes reach towards the mat. On the next inhale, come on up. Drop your tush down. And we'll come back into child's pose for a little gentle counter pose. I'm going to once again, I'm going to have my knees together. Gives it a little bit more support for my body. And just release here. One more inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and come on forward. Lay down on the mat. And again, if you have a wall that you're willing to put your body up against, it feels really nice. Put your legs up the wall. Let your arms rest out to the side. Notice how the back is supported with the floor. And that gravity elevating the feet is really nice for your circulation. A couple deep inhale. Let's inhale through our nose. And sigh really loud through our mouth. Again, inhale. And again, inhale. And sigh. Exhale. Go ahead and just let go. Relax into the mat. Let's take a mini Shavasana. If you're ready to come out of Shavasana, deepen your breath. Inhaling a little more fully. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now what I want you to do, if your legs are up the wall, just slide your feet together down so that it's as if you're leaning back on your thighs and you're able to push into the mat. So we're like in a little mini squat here. Just breathe here. If you're just on your back, your feet are on the wall, you can go ahead and just hug your knees in. And then if you're just on the mat with your feet not on the wall. You can roll side to side. You can do a little tummy twist. Everybody else that has your legs up on the wall and your feet are on the wall, I want you to walk your feet and let your knees fall out to the right. Let your knees fall down and your feet will have to slide down as well. If this feels okay, you should have a little gentle twist here. Look out over your right fingertips. Let's take a couple breaths here. Inhale again. And exhale. And then inhale, go ahead and wiggle your feet back up to center. Exhale, drop them down to the other side. And maybe turn your head and look over your right fingers. Breathing here, a nice gentle twist. And since we're already over on your side, just pick your right hand up and bring it, turning your head back to your left hand. Take that right arm, bring it up and over so that your two hands touch. Bend your arms, bringing your hands together in front of your face, probably is where your hands. And go ahead and push yourself up to seated. You might have to crawl around a little bit. Coming back onto your mat in a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. Bring your hands in front of your heart in prayer. And we'll end our practice with one arm. So inhale fully. Exhale fully. Inhale. Thank you so much for checking in today. And I hope you have a very good evening. If there is something that you would like to see on my YouTube channel, because it's your channel too, if you're subscribing. If you're not subscribing, make sure you subscribe. But if there's something that you want to see, you want some sort of practice that you want me to try and offer you, please leave a comment and let me know what it is that you need. Helps me come up with ideas of what I might offer you. So just because my primary practice is very rich in Ashtanga, does not mean that I'm not open to offering other things. So in my everyday life, I do quite a bit of activities. I like to hike. I like to. I used to love to run. I don't do it quite as much anymore, but I do love running when I can. I like to just move in different ways, lifting, hanging. I do Spartan racing. It's just a lot of fun kind of moving with my body however I can. We've got amazing bodies, and so just ask. You never know. If I don't have the ability to offer that up to you, I might be able to point you to where you can find it. So please do leave a comment. It helps me to know that there's someone out there watching, and that I'm here trying to offer this up, not for myself, but as a way to give back to you. It's a way to just share the blessings that I've experienced through the yoga practice. and make it accessible to anyone that wants it. So anyways, thank you so much. I feel so blessed to have you here, and namaste.